Hello, today's our topic is transmission line parameter. Transmission line parameter is a part of subject power system 1. The power transmission line is one of the major components of electrical power system. Transmission line transfer power to a generation to a distribution. It is the major function is to transport electrical energy with minimum losses from the power source to the load center and usually separated by long distance. So the design of transmission line depends on number of parameters, and these parameters like series resistance, series inductance, shunt capacitance, shunt conductance. This number of parameters, first the series resistance, which relies basically on physical composition of the conductor at given temperature. The series inductance and shunt capacitance are produced by the presence of magnetic and electric field around the conductor, and it depends on the geometrical arrangement. The shunt conductance is due to leakage current flowing across the insulator and air. As leakage current is considerably small and compared to other parameters negligible, so shunt capacitance is normally not considered for the transmission line modeling. In this lecture, we study about these parameters: resistance, inductance, and capacitance. Resistance is also important, but the calculation of resistance is simple. But calculation of inductance and capacitance, we have fully studied about the calculation of inductance and capacitance in a transmission line. The next topic is constant of transmission line. Here we see in the figure the equivalent circuit of transmission line. Here is Vs is a sending end voltage, Vr is a receiving end voltage, ZL is a load impedance, R1, R2, L1, L2, L3, which is the line resistance and inductance. In second figure we see the R and L as a lumped parameter. Now the transmission line has mainly three constants R, L and C, which is distributed along the whole length of the line. The resistance and inductance from the series impedance and capacitance existing between conductor of phase line from conductor to neutral line with a shunt path. Capacitance effect introduced in transmission line calculation for a medium and long transmission line. A transmission line mainly has three parts: short transmission line, medium transmission line, and long transmission line. A short transmission line is comparatively a low voltage value, about nearest to 20 kV, and the line kilometer is 50 km. Due to the smaller length and lower voltage, the capacitance effect is small, so we can neglect it, and therefore when we study about short transmission line, only resistance and inductance of the line we taken into account. Second one is a medium transmission line. A medium transmission line is above 20 kV and below 100 kV, which is between 50 to 150 kilometers. And this line has sufficient value of capacitance, so the calculation of capacitance also we considered. But in medium transmission line, we choose resistance, inductance and capacitance as a lumped parameter. Third one is a long transmission line. A long transmission line is above 100 kV and above 250-150 kilometers. This transmission line we considered a resistance, capacitance and inductance as a distributed parameters, and it distributed uniformly. It's in its length. We use number of methods to find out the parameters of long transmission line. One of the calculation we use a rigorous method for the solution. Now we know that the long, short and medium transmission line depends on its constant, and in these constant are resistance, inductance and capacitance. So designing of transmission line depends on this parameter. So now we study about the resistance, capacitance and inductance. Now before we find out the method of finding this constant of transmission line, we have to understand what is the constant of transmission line. The first one is in resistance. It is the opposition of line conductor to current flow. The resistance is distributed uniformly along the whole length of the line. The performance of transmission line can be analyzed conventionally if distributed resistance considered as a lump. Second one is an inductance. When alternating current flow a conductor, a changing flux is set up, which link the conductor, and due to the flux linkage, the conductor possesses inductance, and this inductance mathematically we define as an psi by I. Here psi which is in flux linkage and I is in current flowing in the conductor, which is equal to L. L is an inductance. Now the inductance is also uniformly distributed along the length of the line, and analysis of analysis simple, we taken this parameter as a lump. Now third one is in capacitance. Now we know that any two conductors separated by an insulating material constitute a capacitor, as any two conductors of over a transmission line are separated by air which act as an insulation. Therefore, capacitance exists between any two overhead line conductors. The capacitance between the conductor is the charge per unit potential difference, which is equal to Q by V, where Q is in charge in a conductor and V is in voltage or a potential difference between the conductor. The capacitance is uniformly distributed along the whole length of the line and may be a uniform series of capacitors connected between the conductor. When alternating voltage is impressed on transmission line, the charge on the conductor at any point increase and decrease with the increase and decrease of instantaneous value of voltage. The result is that current flow between the conductor. This charging current flow in the line even when it is open circuited, it affects the voltage drop along the line as well as the efficiency and power factor of the line. Now we find out how to calculate the resistance of transmission line. The resistance of transmission line conductor is the most important cause of power loss in transmission line, and the resistance R of line conductor having resistivity rho and length L and area of cross section is A. Now the equation for find out is R is equal to rho L by A. The variation of resistance of metallic conductor with temperature is particularly linear over the normal range of operation. Suppose R1 and R2 is the resistance of conductor at T1 and T2 temperature, and if alpha 1 is the temperature coefficient at T1, then find out the resistance with T2 temperature. We have an equation R2 is equal to R1 1 plus alpha 1 T2 minus T1. Here is the both equation. Now some of the note that in a single phase or two wire DC line, the total resistance is equal to the double of the resistance of either conductor. In case of three phase line, resistance per phase is the resistance of one conductor. Now flux linkage. Before we study about the inductance of a circuit, we know that the equation to find out inductance, the inductance equation is an flux linkage divided by current. So first we study about the flux linkage. To find out the flux linkage, we have to study on flux linkage due to a single conductor carrying conductor and flux linkage in parallel current carrying conductor. With this flux linkage, we introduce a inductance value. Now the first one, flux linkage due to single current carrying conductor. For find out flux linkage due to single current carrying conductor, we consider a long straight cylindrical conductor with radius r and current flowing into them is I. Now this current will set up magnetic field and this magnetic line of force will exist inside the conductor as well as outside the conductor, and both these flux will contribute the inductance of the conductor. So find out the total flux linkage due to single current carrying conductor. We have to study about flux linkage due to internal flux and also flux linkage due to external flux. Now flux linkage due to internal flux. For find out the flux linkage due to internal flux, we have seen in the figure, we have a cross section of conductor. Here is the some friction part dx we consider, which is x meter from the center of the conductor. The radius of conductor is r. Here the line of flux flowing in the conductor. Now, according to Ampere's law, if mmf around any closed path equal to the current enclosed by the path, so the current enclosed by the path is Ix, so mmf is equal to intensity into area. Here intensity, which is Hx, into area 2 pi x. So the Hx is equal to Ix upon 2 pi x. Now assuming a uniform current density in whole conductor, so any point of the conductor current density is same. So for current Ix and current I, we have an equation Ix upon a current density for the section part and I upon a current density for whole conductor, which is equal. So from this we have equation Ix is equal to pi x square by pi r square into I. Here pi x square is an area of our x value and pi r square, which is whole conductor area. Now putting the value of Ix in a above equation, so Hx is equal to x square by I square into I, and Ix, which is equal to 1 upon here 2 pi x. So equation of intensity is x upon 2 pi r square into I At by m. If mu is the permeability of the conductor and the so flux density considered at a given point which is equal to Bx. So for our given point which is Bx, and the flux density value for any point is B is equal to mu H. So Bx is equal to mu Hx. Now putting the value of Hx from above value, we have an equation this. Now mu r is equal to 1 for non-magnetic material. So we put the value of mu r is equal to 1, and the final equation is mu 0 xi by 2 pi r square. Now a flux d phi through a cylindrical cell of radial thickness dx and axial length is 1 meter. So we know that the equation of flux density which is equal to phi by a, which is in flux upon area. So here we have to find out flux. So flux is equal to flux density into area. So our radial thickness dx, flux value is df, and flux density which is equal to bx into area. Here dx is the width and our axial length we taken as a 1 meter. So value 1. So d phi is equal to bx into 1 into dx. Now putting the value of bx from the above equation, d phi is equal to mu 0 xi upon 2 pi r square dx Weber. Now this flux link with the current Ix, which is equal to I pi x square by pi r square we define above. So therefore flux linkage per meter length of conductor which is equal to d psi pi x square by pi r square d pi is equal to mu 0 I x cube by 2 pi r square dx Weber per ton. Now here is the flux linkage value which is for our dx thickness part. Now for the total flux linkage from center up to the center surface, we have to consider our center to whole conductor. So 0 to r radius. So integrate this equation with 0 to r radius. The internal flux linkage value which is equal to psi internal integration 0 to r, the value of d psi which is equal to mu 0 I x cube by 2 pi r raised to 4 into dx. Now integrated this equation, we find out mu 0 I by 8 pi Weber turns per meter length, which is the flux linkage due to internal flux in a single conductor. Now let us calculate the flux linkage of conductor due to external flux. The external flux extends from the surface of conductor to infinity. Referring to figure, the field intensity at distance x meter outside the conductor is given. And the part dx we consider, here is the r as the radius of conductor, and from the radius x distance we have some part dx. Now we have to find out flux linkage due to this external flux. Now same as above our internal flux linkage theory, for external, find out intensity of the point as a dx. So for this intensity Hx, which is equal to current I by 2 pi x. From above theory, we have a current value is Ix for particular space. Here is the whole conductor we taken. So the value of current will be I, and the area is same as an above 2 pi x. So Hx is equal to 2 pi x. We have here seen Hx is equal to I upon 2 pi x. Now Flux density, find out flux density. Flux density equation, we know that B is equal to mu 0 H. So for a particular part X, we have Bx is equal to mu 0 Hx. So put the value of Hx, we have equation mu 0 I by 2 pi x Weber per meter square. Now flux d phi through a cylindrical cell of thickness dx and axial length is 1 meter. So the value of flux d phi, which is equal to flux density into area. Area, which is equal to width dx into axial length 1. So length is 1, so area is equal to dx, and area into flux density, which is equal to flux. So d phi is equal to bx into dx. Putting the value of bx or a flux density, we have an equation mu 0 I by 2 pi x into dx. Now flux d phi link with all the current in the conductor once and only once. So the flux linkage d psi, which is equal to d phi. So mu 0 I by 2 pi x into dx Weber per turn. Now total flux linkage of the conductor from surface to infinity, we have to integrate this flux linkage with R to infinite. So flux linkage due to external, which is equal to integration R to infinite mu 0 I by 2 pi x into dx, which is the equation for the flux linkage due to external flux. Now overall flux linkage due to internal flux and external flux, the total flux psi, which is equal to internal plus external. This is the equation we above defined, and this is the equation we right now define. The total value will be given. Psi is equal to mu 0 I by 2 pi 1 by 4 plus R to infinite dx by x Weber turn per meter length. Now in this lecture, we have studied about single conductor flux linkage and also the calculation of resistance and basics about the transmission line constant. In next lecture, we study about the inductance due to single current carrying conductor and also inductance due to parallel current carrying conductor and calculation of capacitance. Thank you.